Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to Adam's Quest. In the last episode, one creature's misguided attempt to save the tribe from starvation nearly cost us the life of one of our babies. Raven was basically being used as bait for the bluebirds. We're probably pretty lucky that Prancer's plan didn't work. To be honest, it seemed like the bluebird didn't care about the baby at all. It certainly wasn't interested in swooping overhead so Kestrel could catch it, and in fact we ended up losing one of our bluebird meals in the process. Thankfully a new bluebird spawned in the meantime, so we do still have one more chance to restore our food stores. But we are crawling into some pretty dangerous territory again, especially as so many of our roots are gone too. Kirta has one root to dig up over here by the Whale Island ports, so I think that's where we're going to bring him next. But I suppose it's a bit more surprising that Raven managed to find one of the shells along the shore. I figure that must have been a gift from the Balance Sisters. They so often gift us with those tiny little morsels. It was what Seafoam loved to collect after all. So maybe they were trying to get Raven's attention? Maybe they were trying to stop her from following after Prancer. Maybe it's even brought a little spark of doubt into Jangle's heart. Now that some of the snow is starting to clear around Raven's family, he might even be able to see the new little baby in the nest. So maybe he's starting to wonder if his sister is wrong after all. Maybe her ambitions have truly clouded her better judgment. All she really wants to do is feed her tribe. She knows that they don't have the great skills like Kirta does, especially when it comes to digging, but she figures if she can just find some way to bring them back food, surely they'll remember her for being just as great and valiant as the Earth Spirits. But now Jangle isn't really so sure anymore. Is it really worth ripping this baby away from her family? They should know better than anybody else how important family is, because they've always stayed side by side. So I think Jangle is finally going to put his foot down to his sister. He's going to lead Raven back toward her family and let her decide if she wants to go on the journey with them or not. Maybe when she grows, she will decide that she wants to find some food for her family too. Maybe she'll even decide that she wants to roam these shores to look for more shells. Though to be honest, that never seemed like the best way to gather our food. Shells have always been a rarity here, which is why it was so surprising when Raven just stumbled right into one. Now I'm sure that Prancer is probably feeling quite betrayed right now. I don't think that's going to stop her though. She knows that she's sturdy enough to continue the mission alone. So maybe as she sniffs around, we'll have her try her best to clear out a little bit more of this pathway and trudge her way deeper and deeper into the snow. We'll have her try her best to hug the shore too, just in case she needs to make a quick escape route. I suppose we never know what sort of dangers she might run into, or what sort of other creatures she might find in the process. I know that our second wanderer went off this way a while ago, so who knows where she is by now. She may have even stolen each and every last root out here if she's still alive, so all of this might be in vain for poor Prancer. I hope that she'll be able to find at least a couple of morsels. Since Kirta is way over here on the other side of the island, it's not as though it would be very easy for him to scoot over here and grab the meal. So we need those creatures working on the outskirts of the land to give us our extra food too. At least until our Earth Spirits can give us a proper heir, I suppose. Now Evergreen is probably feeling right at home here. I did notice that we have some of those flowers that she loves so much, the ones that remind her of her mother. So maybe as we bring Ranger up this way to search for some more of those flowers. Since we know that the root is up here, why don't we have Evergreen come this way instead? She could probably still build her nest right next to one of these flowers, so maybe that'll give her baby some extra good luck. Yes, and we have more roots out here too. Excellent! I was hoping that would be the case. It seemed like all signs were pointing toward a feast over here by the ports. And as long as we keep this area clear, at least our plan B will still be in effect. That way if the starvation does come knocking on our door again, if the famine returns, if perhaps Kirta can't give us a baby with the digging trunk, we will definitely have an escape route to take. No matter how much that would end up sending us back, it's still a lot better than seeing our entire tribe go extinct. So Kirta, if we could bring you a little bit closer, maybe over to this tile, if you can maybe scoot around Ranger. No, it doesn't look like you can. Well, he has 3 turns worth of energy, so he should still be able to scoot on over here and dig up this root that was waiting right by the ports. So that's 7 more pieces of food at least, and I know that he's going to be a little bit cold tonight, but I'm sure the image of his brand new baby is going to warm him up right away. Now, just to make sure, we did place the digging trunk into Evergreen's mutation menu. Yeah, I wanted to make sure that we had at least 1 baby with the purr snout, that way the healer's blessing could live on too. That is going to be very important if we do end up starving again. And to look at this. Nukira is almost like shooing Prancer away, isn't he? He wants to make sure that his little friend is kept very safe. He's been watching her from the shadows basically ever since she was born. I mean, I feel like these two have a pretty deep connection. It probably just started because their fur is so similar, but it does seem like Nukiro could probably use her warmth too. That he body would definitely help him warm up. So we'll have to see if those two can cross paths when she has a little bit of extra energy. Now our brand new Oracle Flurry, everything is going to be riding on her shoulders soon. Her father is just about to pass away. I wonder if maybe he would go off seeking solitude. It seems like our oracles do prefer to speak to the ancestors alone, especially when they're on their last day like this. So where is that bluebird? Up here? Oh my gosh, are you going to the other side of the island? Oh my goodness, no. We're going to have Marina and Kestrel try to chase it down? We are not losing another meal. 20 pieces of food, that would feed our tribe for days. Well, since we know the bluebird is too far away, I guess we could shuffle around our babies. We could bring Maple over to this tile to keep little Flurry protected. And then you, Lightning, you should be able to safely scoot right to her side too. She would probably pull the baby over. Lightning, I know, is very, very excited to finally get started on her training with Kestrel. The bluebird leader herself. That has to be a very big honor. Oh, and did you actually catch sight of the baby that time? I wonder why Lightning looked more appetizing to the bluebird. She has a derp snout too, so it should actually give her a bit of a distasteful appearance. That's strange. Maybe it was just some pretty good timing. Well, I'm not really sure how we're going to bring Marina all the way up there. It's not as though we can get through the snow very easily. We'd have to have these two work together to plow away a path. So I guess for now, let's just have Maple dig up some of the snow, clear out a bit of a pathway for the babies, give them some room to play, and then we'll have Sunrise make his slow, steady way out of the tribe's territory. I suppose we could have him sniff around too, just in case there are any extra roots out here, but unfortunately that doesn't seem to be the case. So go ahead and clear out a little bit of extra snow there. And then we're going to have to find a way to bring our birds up to the peaks, because I don't think this bluebird is going to come back over your tribe. It must have really startled them, and I mean rightfully so, when we attack them with one of our creatures. It seems like they're more likely to go off in some different direction once we do. They rarely come back over our tribe after they've been attacked. But building pathways is no easy task when it's still snowing like this. When the snow continues to pile all around our creatures, blocking the pathways that they just made. So flying is actually pretty difficult right now. I guess we'll have Marina jump over here, landing her straight in the snowdrifts, but it will allow for her mother to get a little bit further. We'll bring Kestrel up this way, and we better make sure that they're sniffing around too. I know that Kestrel doesn't have the best sense of smell, but she has been pretty lucky finding roots so far. So if they could find any more tasty little morsels up here in the process, that would probably be for the best. Let's have Marina jump up here with her last turn. And then as for you, Kestrel, I don't know if it's really going to matter. I mean, maybe we do want to settle her down right here for now. At least you two have a pretty big stretch between you. So if the bluebird does swoop back overhead, maybe it'll be easier to find a place to land. I'm just really, really nervous that we're going to end up losing this bluebird too. Hopefully if it does despawn, the game will decide to give us something else. And you know what, Flurry? Let's have you scoot on over here. That way you'll be nice and toasty warm between your brand new friend Lightning and your mother as well. So I think we should be ready to skip the day now. We might as well come over here. We have to see what our new little Earth child is going to look like and cross our fingers for some perfect digging skills. Oh my gosh, did it actually work? Yes, and look at that dark fur. Oh, for a moment I thought maybe he had the melanism trait, but it looks like it is actually pure black fur. And he has the beautiful purple eyes too. Oh my gosh. That is so striking. He is a little Earth prince if I ever did see one. He has the home island gene too, so that's a really good sign. We do need to make sure that that's staying strong in our tribe. And he's probably going to be one of the last remaining males that we have in our tribe soon, especially as Kirta is about to pass away. So it's going to be between him and Jangle to give us our next generation. Well, as these are all spirits of the earth, we'll name him after a type of plant too. We'll call this baby Hawthorn, and we'll get to training him with his father right away. Poor Kirta, who you can just barely see poking his digging trunk over the snow. Oh, you poor thing. We're gonna have to bring you over to those roots. Oh, new one spawned too. Excellent. So now we have 14 days worth of food over here again. Oh my gosh, and more roots over here as well. One right next to you, Maple. One in the middle of the snow piles. I wonder if maybe one of you could pick that up. Maybe you could even be Jangle. He might not be working with his sister anymore, but I'm sure he would still want to provide his tribe with food. So yeah, let's bring him up over to this room. You can come over here and even set the remains of Sunrise to rest. I'm sure that Maple would really appreciate it, and at least that's one creature here who we can actually bury in the proper way. Hello, Nukiro. Were you drawn over here by the warmth? Actually, it doesn't look like he's doing so well. Those closed eyes might just mean that he is frozen. Yeah, I think I did see that icon. The poor thing is cursed with the same zombie plague that we saw on this island before. Well, I know it's probably not in our best interests, but could you maybe warm him up a little bit? There we go, now he's feeling much better. I guess in a way you are probably just repaying him for his kindness. You have a friend in the wild, and now he knows that he has a friend in the tribe too. Now, unfortunately, because of her short-sighted eyes, she is having a little bit of trouble getting back to the tribe now. So maybe we should bring Flurry over to the hot springs. She should be able to light up the rest of the way for you. Oh no, if only that snow didn't get in the way. Why don't you come on over here, Raven? You should be able to help us melt all of the snow around here, and then it might be easier for us to get to that route. That one, though, I'm wondering if maybe we should save that for the digging trunks. It might take a little bit too long. I'm worried that maybe somebody's going to try to snatch it up. So if we see that he is getting too close to it, we'll make sure that somebody else swoops in to grab it instead. Now with you right next to Flurry, I guess this would be a good opportunity for you to pass on that shell that you found. The very same one that had been touched by the Bellin sisters. I'm sure she figures it's probably just a fun thing for Flurry to play with. But since it has been touched by our deities, I wonder if it would even help her with her visions. Let's see what her very first prediction says. In 5 days, it's going to start snowing. So just so you guys know, I am planning on pre-recording the next few episodes of Adam's Quest. So I'm not going to reload the game between each episode. We're just going to keep going until we actually make a dent on this island. So that does mean I won't be able to use your suggestions this time around, but it should allow us for us to finally see the end of the snow. Well, at least it looks like the bluebird is starting to swerve its way back. I don't really want to startle it though. I'm not sure if we should try to bring Marina and Kestrel down here, just so they would be closer to the bluebird. I mean, I guess maybe we could bring Kestrel down here, but leave Marina up toward the top. That way all of this space will still be lit up for them to fly to. Why don't we wait just a little bit longer? I mean, it's not as though Kestrel would have very far to fly over here, so we'll just wait and see where it ends up going. And instead, let's have Prancer make her way a little bit deeper into the snow too. Gosh, maybe she's going to end up laying the way to the bluebird? That would be pretty fantastic for her. It would certainly give her a legend all her own to be remembered for. Not only finding roots, but the bluebirds too. So at least you managed to discover something out here, Prancer. We could bring you over here, and then on the next turn you should be able to dig up 2 roots. Oh my gosh, even better. Maybe we should have Kestrel fly down here. I wonder if she should bring her daughter though. I really do feel like Marina should probably just stay up there. I mean, the bluebirds so do seem to love going up to the peaks, but it would never suspect to see us over on the opposite shore. It probably figures that this entire place has been abandoned. Our tribe hasn't been here since we initially landed. In fact, way over here, I think this was actually where our Siren Springs were. This was where our healers used to call home. I wonder if they could find anything similar over on this side of the mountain? I mean, there are a couple of little hot springs spotted here and there. The most of them are probably right over here by the Whale Island ports. So maybe this is where Evergreen is going to suggest that our healers settle down. But while we keep a close eye on you, let's go back to the baby to make sure that Kirta can show him the best way to dig up those roots. So we have 1 root right here. If we could only move you to this tile, maybe we would be able to have you dig that up on this turn. So Evergreen, go ahead and clear out the way for your mate. You've always been great at keeping his pathway clear, and the bluebird is still hovering dangerously between both of our little birds. You know, I wonder if this would be a good opportunity for Lightning to show her stuff. She is sturdy enough that she doesn't need to stay by the tribe, so maybe she would take this as her chance to truly shine. If we bring Jangle over here, I guess? If we can, that looks like that's just the nest, so we should be able to scoot you out of the way so we can bring Lightning down the path. I guess we'll have to have Maple jump over here too. She needs to keep herself toasty warm anyways. And though Lightning is pretty hard at moving, she'll find herself settled down right next to the remains of the Oracle. It's almost as if she's been guided in this direction. I mean, they are related by blood. She does have a little bit of the Oracle's influence in her. Not as much as Flurry, and she doesn't even have a trace of the antennas. But still, her uncle was a great Oracle. Maybe part of his coming out here was even to guide Lightning over this way, so she would be able to light up the way to the Bluebird battle. Well, we still have a couple of turns that we can make. Let's have Maple dig out the snow over this way. That way our tribe should be able to get to that other root that they found. Yeah, looks like it's completely dug out now, so we can definitely swoop in and grab it if anybody gets a little bit too greedy. I guess we'll come over here and have Evergreen go ahead and clear out the snow too. Oh no! Oh, the rocks are back. You know, I have a feeling that Kestrel is probably going to try to put Lightning up to that work. Her mother was known for destroying the rocks after all, and the rocks have been a pretty big nuisance during our hunts. She would probably want to see if Lightning has the same sort of power, though unfortunately I don't believe she does. She's a little bit too weak to crack them open fully. Oh no, now you're going back up there. Oh, I swear, there is no use trying to make sense of these strange flight patterns that they have. They look like they're going one way, and then they turn around and go in the completely opposite direction. And we know they're not getting distracted by anything. I mean, we even set up a baby on a silver platter for the bluebird, and it could care less. We don't have any bunnies on the mountains. I can't imagine there would be any meat out here. So I don't know what has you so distracted, Mr. Bluebird, but it's certainly not helping our tribe any. Well, I guess all we can do is try to bring Ranger into the snow. That way she should be able to melt all the snow around the root. I don't think Hawthorn is going to be quite old enough to dig it up on this turn, but we can definitely have Kier to do the job. They still have a couple of good days left in them, so plenty of time to make sure that Hawthorn is a master at digging. Now where are we going to bring you to? Marina, you're getting so cold. I think she's going to have to take a dip in one of those hot springs. Now Kestrel, should we have you stay on the shore just in case? Keeping Prancer company even? She might be able to send you back with all of those roots too. And you know, on that same note, I feel like it would be pretty fitting if we changed Prancer over to an Omega. I mean, she's not doing any of this for herself. All she wants to do is bring back tons of food for the tribe. So if we did ever get to a situation where our tribe started to starve again, I feel like she would probably be the last one to eat. So yeah, let's have Kestrel stay right here on the shore. She should actually be warm here too. We can have her clear out a little bit of the extra snow. Or maybe just jump a bit further down the beaches, just in case. And now you're coming over here again? Oh my gosh, you were just teasing me. Maybe we should have Marina try to get to one of these hot springs. She could come up here, and at least on the next turn, she can warm herself up right at the very tippity top of the mountain. So I guess we're ready to pass the turn again, this time without any babies being born. So all of our attention is going to be set directly on this bluebird. Please tell me you're going to stick around for one more day. It looks like you are. Okay, that's a good sign. One more day to take down this pesky bluebird. Marina, your job isn't over just yet. Let's sniff around just in case. Make sure that nothing else has spawned in the meantime. It looks like we still just have our friendly wanderer lurking around our tribe, sticking very close to Raven, of course. She must have a lot of creatures looking to cuddle up with her. Well, Lightning, let's have you move first. We'll have her carve out the snow right here and jump on this way. That way there are at least a couple more tiles that we could use for good landing. Kestrel, you keep a super close eye on that bird. It looks like it might be winding its way down again. And as for you, Prancer, let's have you dig up all of those delicious roots that you found. If we set her up on this tile, we could dig them both up, but I think she's going to have to settle with just one for now. The snow is just a little bit too deep for you to move through without taking a quick rest first. Now I guess we'll go back to Kirta to make sure that we dig up that root too. And I know that his little baby is going to be watching quite closely. So for their gem combinations, just like Maple, we want to make sure that pink is on the outside, his very first gem. Just enough to prove how eager he is by toddling after his father, but not quite enough to do the job himself. So we'll bring Hawthorn over here, so he'll get a nice clear view of his father digging up each and every last one of these roots. And I suppose we could even use their digging chunks to smell deeper into the snow while we're at it. I don't see anything else out there. No, it looks like that may have been it for this area. That's a little bit disappointing, but I'm sure something else is going to spawn pretty soon. If there are that few roots out here, there has to be another feast out there somewhere. It seems like they're always tucked together in the same place too, almost like they're buried treasure or something. I wonder if we could even work that into our lore, like maybe Kirta himself was planting those roots down for his babies to collect. Or I guess it would be Vankir if we connect it to his harvest. So the question is, will we have enough time to bring all of our digging trunks over to the roots over here? Oh, wait a second. Oh, you found another root for us? Well, thank you, Nukiro. I'm sure he was probably tapping Raven on the shoulder, letting her know that he found a little bit of extra food to share. We could bring Jangle over to dig it up, or maybe have Maple do the honors. I think we'll at least have to have her come over here to clear out the way. That way Jangle can jump on in and grab up that root before anybody gets any bad ideas. I could definitely see Nukiro trying his best to impress Raven, maybe by digging up those roots himself. But I wonder if those clumsy paws would cause him to destroy the food sources, and that's why we don't want him trying to dig up those roots alone. Now I do see that the bluebird is flying dangerously close to you, Lightning. Maybe your plan is going to work after all. It looks like Kestrel would be too far away to swoop at it though. I guess the shore may not have been the best place for you. Let's bring Jangle over here. Maybe that would help light up the way. I think we'd probably have to have Flurry go ahead and pick up some of the snow too. That way we could have a Raven carve her pathways as well. Yes, you are swooping closer. Oh, that is so close. It must be just hovering in this darkness. A little bit too far away for you, Marina. A little bit too far away for you, Kestrel. But we are so close now. Oh, I don't know if maybe moving our creatures toward it just startles it. Maybe that's where we're going wrong? So why don't we come over here and move our earth spirits instead? We could have Evergreen jump up this way to be in between her baby and her mate. No, that doesn't seem to be affecting it whatsoever. It is just doing whatever it pleases up here in the sky. Yeah, there's really no use trying to make sense of it. We're just gonna have to try to catch it off guard. Well, I guess it would probably be for the best if we have Kirta settle down in between his family members too. So we'll bring him right over here, right atop that previous route that he found. Still so close yet so far away. Maybe if we move Ranger this way then? I want her to try to start carving a pathway back toward the main camp, so we can bring them over to the other routes that we found. It's probably just going to end up being Hawthorn though. Maybe Hawthorn and Ranger will return to the tribe together. Oh no, those pesky rocks. You are going to have to try to find another creature who can crack those open. That is such a bummer when we end up wasting a turn on one of those. Now, is Hawthorn going to need another creature to keep him warm? Or does he actually have the big body too? I forgot to check that before. Yes, he is actually much sturdier than his father was. That means that Hawthorn could actually go out alone. He could grab up each and every last root that he smells, and he wouldn't have to worry about bringing anybody else into danger. That being said, I'm sure that he would probably want somebody like Ranger by his side just because of that heat body that she has. She would be an excellent addition to his team too, clearing out the pathways just like Evergreen always did for Kirta. Alright Marina, I don't think you can wait any longer. We're gonna have to bring you up here to the hot springs. You can sit at the very top of the mountain and wait for another bluebird to fly overhead, because it doesn't look like this one is going to be the one. Kestrel, it seems like you're out of time too. I mean, we could bring you over here. We could have you try to chase the bluebird, but with your 2 turns remaining, I can't see that being enough to take it down. We may have unfortunately lost track of this bluebird too, and it is so annoying. I can't believe that she was able to take down the first one so easily. It seems like it's been a struggle ever since. I wonder if maybe that vision is going to worm its way into Flurry's heart. Maybe she'll be able to find a way to track the bluebird's movements and guess where it's going to end up next. I wonder if maybe she's getting a little bit pruny just lazing around in these hot springs all day too. I suppose we could have her move next to Raven. That way she'll still be nice and toasty warm. She can just stretch her legs a little bit, maybe play around with that shell that she gave her, and see if she can discover anything new. Now it looks like New Kirill might be getting a little bit curious about that other route too. We'll have Maple dance to the side, blocking his advances, I guess, and assuring that that route is going to be safe for us on the next turn. So, armed with that route that Prancer dug up for Kestrel, I guess we're going to have her start making her way back to the tribe. And now you decide to swoop overhead, really? Now you're coming toward the heart of the tribe? Well, let's have Kestrel land down next to her little apprentice. Maybe Lightning has even called her over here, because she figures this would be a good spot for her to set up and wait. But I have a bad feeling about this next turn, as we have Marina shovel out a little bit more of that snow. As the bluebird leaves us once again, all of our creatures are out of energy now, and as we go ahead and skip the day, is the bluebird going to stay? Oh, still staying after all? I was sure you were going to leave us. And not only that, but it seems like your patience may have actually paid off for you, Marina. You have another shot at finally taking down one of those mighty bluebirds. So I guess in the next episode, we'll see if she can finally pull through for us. Finally live up to her mother's name. And that's one more chance for you too, Lightning. Maybe the bluebird's sense of direction will finally start to fail it in its old age. So in the next episode, we'll have to bring our brand new little digger over to the heart of the camp. Make sure that he can pick up plenty of fruits along the way. Let's just check and see if maybe anything else has spawned here. No, looks like the ground is still pretty bare. So our buried treasure must be waiting on some different shore. Well, if anybody can sniff it out, I'm sure it would end up being Hawthorn. The dark little prince of the mountains will make a wonderful addition to his family's legacy. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!